when you approached me about this project, it's called Ladies Haven.
Ladies Haven.
And I was so excited about it because I felt like this is what we need right now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the project.
Well, Ladies Haven, Ladies Haven is Ladies Haven. It's what's a haven? It's a safe place for women. And we provide a platform where we can all discover how to handle our different struggles. Women go through a lot. Life is full of crisis.
So what inspired you?
Okay. Well, I'm sure you know a little bit of my story, but it all started, I'm going through a divorce, okay? And in my whole journey of searching what went wrong, you know, and looking for God, I got to a point where I tried every option humanly possible to make my marriage work, and nothing worked. And in that journey, I got to discover maybe I went through what I went through because there's some women out there who need this, you know, who need this information. So I call it a guinea pig. I was maybe the guinea pig for all these women, and my passion is I bleed inside when I look around and I see women making the mistakes that I made, and I feel like my voice is probably not heard enough, you know, and the voices of many are not heard enough to prevent these mistakes from happening.
When you talked about your mistakes, what mistakes did you feel like you would teach another person to not make when it comes to relationship and marriage?
Well, I got into marriage first for the wrong reason, okay? Yes. And most people actually do get into marriage for the wrong reason, because you think I love you and we feel like we're compatible, and our love story looks like this Romeo and Juliet story, and think we can live together. But a lot of people are actually focusing on just that wedding day, and they don't see the picture, the big picture.
Bigger picture.
They don't see it. And I count myself lucky, and I'm humbled that God got me out of this situation without me dying, you know, and saving my life, saving my daughter's life. The mistake I made, I didn't know who I was. And I think that is very important. You know, when we're single, we're so focused on
getting married.
But you don't have the tools that you need to keep the marriage. You know, and that's why there's a high rate of divorce. Like I was listening to, and in my research, I realized more than 50% of marriages end up in divorce, first timers. Of course. Your second time in marriage, more than 64%, and those who try it the third time, like 70-something%. So that's high. You know, so I'm a victim of it, and I'm trying to save some people from making that same mistake.
The Ladies Haven talk show will be live in Houston, Texas on March 11th, 2017. Let us come together to discuss how to overcome our different challenges. This is a show you don't want to miss.
So when you brought this program, I said, finally, we're going to have a space to talk about this, not just for single women, but also for married women.
Right.
And how to sustain that marriage. Now, you decided to walk away from your marriage. Now, we're Africans and we come from a very conservative society. How did you handle divorce and knowing the fact that all those people came to see you two join together? We were there.
Yes.
I was there. And then having to go through that phase of basically letting people know that this ended. How did you survive that?
Well, I zoned out for a while, okay? It was tough. It was, girl, I don't know if there's another word for tough, or I don't know, there's no word to describe that phase that you find yourself in. I was depressed, I was suicidal, and I was ashamed of it at the beginning. And I lived a lie for some time, you know, just my close circle. And unfortunately, a lot of people who heard from rumor of I've not heard the real story out there. You know how people hear one story and then
they'll take it to the truth.
And that hurt me the most, so it didn't even make me comfortable. It took me a long time to actually accept my truth, because I had a lot of people who were laughing, celebrating my divorce, even people who were friends, I thought were friends. They're probably calling you just to get information. And I knew that this is why these people are calling me. So it actually took me I think I stayed in a depression longer because of what was going on out there.
Isn't it interesting how you had like 40 girls in your Ashrabi train?
Yes, girl.
This was a huge train. And to know that at your time of weakness, some of those people that even dance with you were probably even rejoicing in their heart.
Yes.
This is the thing about sisterhood that I feel like we women lack.
Yes.
And your program, I feel like it's a good place to really talk about that. Why are women not supportive of each other? Why are we waiting for each other's downfall? I'm so proud of you for actually stepping up and owning your truth, and knowing the fact that there's some people that might watch this interview and be inspired by your story of turning a tragedy into something beautiful. And then there's some people that's also gonna criticize you and say, hey, you wanna talk about women's issue, you wanna talk about marriage, but you're not even qualified to talk about it. What would you say for people who are detractors of what you're actually the message you're trying to send out there?
Well, to them, I may not be qualified, but I know that God has qualified me. Because even when God called me to do this, I kind of doubted myself, and that's just the devil, because I gave myself every possible reason why I should not do this. A lot of things like you named, you may not have the tools and all whatnot, but he told me he has qualified me, and if he took me through this, why? And if he healed me, why do I have to keep quiet about it? I can help another woman come out of whatever she's going through with my story. And I'm proud of whatever happened, because of I can glorify God with it. And I wouldn't be here today and I wouldn't have this relationship with God if I had not gone through whatever I went through. So I don't look at it as a bad thing anymore.
What do you pray that people gain from attending this Ladies Havens program?
My wish, ultimately, if one life is being touched, if one person is being impacted, if one person that leaves there healed, being a better version of themselves, and if one soul is being saved, I feel like that's a generation that I've succeeded to save. So that will be my greatest accomplishment.
Leaving an impact on our generation, and us being able to use our stories to change someone's perspective, to impact their mind, maybe to even teach them something that they never knew about. They always say that history is the best teacher.
I also hope that people will actually come out, and your voice can be heard, your voice can heal somebody.
It's interactive.
Yes, your voice can impact a life, and if God has saved you, if God has helped you, and if he even let you experience it and he's getting you out of it, why don't you help somebody else, impact somebody. This world is going to be a better place, with your story.
The Ladies Haven Talk Show will be live in Houston, Texas on March 11, 2017. Let us come together to discuss how to overcome our different challenges. This is a show you don't want to miss.